Hi, my name is Gabby Bunko, and I'm a senior at Montana State University majoring in writing and literature with a minor in Hispanic studies. My project is on disintegration and reframing in writing and literary studies, writing being a blanket term for writing, ret, and comp studies. This came out of my experience as both a writing major and a literature major. My project focuses on the gaps and overlaps in both fields to interrogate their connections to reframe how we think about them at this interesting and crucial time for both fields. Literary studies and writing, composition, and rhetoric studies have begun to switch popularity in recent years, and therefore it is a crucial time to reframe our thinking about the relationships between the two, as well as how those relationships affect students. To interrogate these relationships, I have collected in data in the form of Lakoff and Johnson's conceptual metaphors gathered from writing and literature corpora, observations of Montana State University writing and literature courses, faculty interviews, student surveys, and MSU enrollment statistics. Conceptual metaphors are used to identify and compare field values to see how we can reframe our thinking surrounding the relationships between writing and literature. My methods are derived from Otto Santa Anna's Brown Tide Rising, which applies discourse analysis to conceptual metaphors found in 1990s California newspapers about immigration to interrogate the underlying values of California in the 90s towards immigrants. In addition, I've employed ethnographic analysis to look at transfer of values in the classroom environment through student surveys and observations, which I will compare with my own autoethnographical analysis of how I find field values transferring in my own learning as both a writing and literature major. Furthermore, I'm interrogating intersections between rhetorical and composition theory to look at how they fit together and where they diverge to better understand the relationships between the two. Course enrollment data, which includes majors, minors, electives, and core courses, are analyzed to determine general enrollment trends. Yearly enrollment percentages can be found on the two line graphs on the left of my poster under analysis. My research is still in progress, but findings to date show trends at MSU declining in literature but staying steady in writing, which matches a larger trend across universities. Additionally, conceptual metaphors show overlap in values and teaching, exposing divergences in goals and purpose, all of which demonstrate how and where they can best work together for student benefit. 4 groups of conceptual metaphors have emerged, which are shown in the pie chart. They are almost metaphors, writing or reading as physical object or idea, writing or reading as equivalent activity, and other metaphors that don't fit into the other categories but don't fit into one single category together. Almost metaphors are an interesting group that has come up often in both corpora analysis and course observations. They are equivalencies that function like metaphors, but don't quite fit Lakoff and Johnson's description of conceptual metaphors. Some of the most prevalent are writing as power and literature as empathy, which demonstrate underlying values of both fields. Those values actually overlap more than I anticipated, though there are slight contextual differences that require more interrogation to determine their significance. Both categories of writing and reading as physical object or idea and writing and reading as equivalent activity both reveal teaching values. 2 of the largest subgroups are writing as math and writing or rhetoric as science. Both of these metaphors indicate a preference to break down the aspects of writing instruction into formulaic approaches, which are then transferred to students. These metaphors also reflect larger cultural values and ways of thinking. Math and science have become highly valued, and therefore the ways of thinking required for those fields are highly valued as well, which in turn lead to a necessity of translation between faculty and students, especially at a STEM-focused university like MSU. Furthermore, interrogation of rhet comp and literary theories indicates sites of reframing and integration between the two fields. While that is still in progress as well, I have my processes and findings to date on a website, along with a copy of my poster and links to this video and transcript, which can be found using the QR code on the poster or the handouts. All of my findings to date point towards avenues of rethinking course curriculums in a way that creates mutual understanding of each other's fields so that we can work together in a cohesive way where both fields and students benefit. Enrollment data demonstrates a need to think differently about how writing and literary studies work together, and conceptual metaphors are helpful in understanding where our goals and values intersect and where they can work together. My interrogation of theory explores those intersections more in depth to determine how theoretically and pedagogically we can work together in a way that is beneficial but does not compromise our individual field values and goals. My next steps will be to continue compiling conceptual metaphors from corpora and observations to further understand field values in addition to continuing to interrogate theory. Thank you very much for viewing my presentation. On the website accessible through the QR code, there is a space to leave comments or questions, or you can email me at gbunko6@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.